Well, here we go again. Spending my time tunneling, looking for resources, which I normally do a single lane tunnel, torches every 5 paces. And I hear zombies above me. So what do? I tunnel up towards them because I like to fill in caverns. And as you can see above me, it's not necessarily a cavern that these monsters are standing in. It is a mob spawner. I can tell that because it's common for these dungeons, they call them, to be placed in rooms surrounded by cobblestone and mossy cobblestone. So I did my counts, I found the center, and I have added a torch underneath to try to limit how fast they generate. I have to work my way up there to add more torches so they stop generating, and then I'm going to use this mob farm as the basis for this mob spawning room, or the dungeon as the basis for a full mob farm. I will, like I've done in previous games, above this dungeon I will start building water trap floors to create a mob farm. Lots of work to do before I get there. I've already figured out where the drop tunnel will be. So you got to be within 16 squares of that spawner for them to generate. So I went down 16 squares, actually a little bit higher, I'm only 15 squares down, but that's okay. As long as I trigger the generation of zombies, which I can tell because I can hear them, that's fine. And they will fall down here, and this is where the killing floor will be for eliminating mobs. And ultimately, this is where my zombie villagers are going to appear. So I will have to build a rail system. I'm quite a ways from where I got my village started. So this one's going to require a rail system to bring zombie villagers that have been converted back home. But nonetheless, I enjoy it when I find these dungeons because it sure makes it quicker to produce zombie villagers. Okay, so I've returned to my cellar and got an extra pail of water for what I'm about to do here. Come back to the dungeon that has the zombie spawner in it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to work my way up to the top. I found the edge of it here. You want to be at the top so that you're at least 2 squares higher than the zombies that might be generating in there right now. And then we're going to have a look inside and see. You can tell when you're at the top because you run out of cobblestone. Go one higher here. Okay, so that's the last layer of cobblestone right there. So that's the roof right here, this layer, and right in here. Oh, I might be on the edge because I should have been able to see into it. Yeah, I'm on the edge. Okay, so this is actually a corner. That's the roof, so let's go right here. What's the best way to do this? Maybe right here. I just want to peek in. I want to make sure I'm 2 squares high so that these little guys can't get at you. Playing hardcore, and I've only got iron armor, right? So I got to be careful. I don't want to, and I can see that there is a tunnel over there. So what's going to happen is I'm going to add some torches to this right off the get-go. And I don't know how many I'll have to kill. I'll try killing them first. Whenever you kill a zombie, you attract other zombies that are in the vicinity. So that's why you want to be at least 2 up. Now, if I'm quick, I should be able to safely go like this. Finish lighting this up. Make this as bright as you can. You don't want zombies generating while you're doing this. Should have enough room in my inventory for all that. Clear that guy out of there. Okay, so what I do when I'm making this into a mob farm, I have to be within 16 squares of this spawner. So down here, if this is the right side, I can't tell if that's the right side or not. Yeah, this is the drop zone square right here. That's going to drop down to where I kill the mobs later on as the mob farm progresses. So what I should actually do, so I don't accidentally hurt myself, is probably block that. Now when these guys generate, they generate from 1 to 4 zombies at a time. And what I want them to do is fall 2 squares. And I'm going to make a water trap right here. And the reason for that is because I don't want them to land on the spawner itself. Well, sometimes they still land on the spawner itself, but I don't want them to land on the area where the water that I'm using will just shuffle them into the spawner and it restricts them from being directed. So by having this open area here below, what'll happen is the ones that spawn and don't land on the spawner will actually flow freely. There will be no restriction for them coming over here to this square. Just confirm that that's the right one. Yeah. So this is the one that I want to build this all around. Okay, so we clear out 2 squares down. So that's one. I got to go one more layer. And that way even the large zombies can pass underneath without getting hindered by the spawner. Build this up. This is all while I was searching for the edges. So I don't need that anymore. Oh, come on. Like this, and like this. Okay, that's good enough for now. Actually, I think I filled in the wrong square here. Grab another pickaxe. This one here. Alright. I'm just trying to identify where that one was. So this will be the back wall. There we go. Now, the dungeons aren't always the same size, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to do a quick test. Put the water in the corner. You don't want it to flow down the trough. Yeah, so it's too close. So let's move this back. Yes, that's what we want right there. Okay. That way items that fall will be shuttled with the water, including myself. Yep, that's what we want right there. So now any zombies that fall, let me just pop out of here. We'll do a test. Everything gets shuttled to that spot and no farther. So that completes the water trap for the dungeon. Now what I'll do is I'll just leave it like that and I'll just tunnel my way out of here. No sense picking up the water, I just have to go back and put it again. Now I'll have to fill in that tunnel later that's on the other side of the wall because it's going to hamper the mob farm that I'm going to generate above this. But that is the trap. Now any zombies that generate will be directed here. They'll fall the squares down. I don't want to fall down there because it could possibly kill me. I don't have boots of free falling or anything like that right now. And I have to decide where I want to put the drop zone for the mob farm that's up above. Now the spawner will generate if you're within 16 squares. General mobs got to be more than 24 squares away from you to generate. So I'm already 14 to here, so if I start at, say, the roof level will be the bottom of the mob farm, that would work just fine. And what I do, they're going to take damage from falling from the dungeon here anyway. So the mob farm can start immediately, and I will just direct all mobs, skeletons, creepers, everything that gets generated. I will just direct them into the water. And what I'm doing here right now is I'm just making a note of what the coordinates are. I'll try to keep it centered. It sounds like I got something above me. But okay, so that is going to be the mob farm starting up there. They will fall down into water right here, pass underneath the zombie spawner. I didn't write down those coordinates because since I'm recording a video, I'll just be able to review the video later. Gonna leave the lights for now. I gotta build a receiving area down below first before I get rid of all these lights. So I'll end this video, I'll go do that, and then we'll test its effectiveness later. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly build a temporary chest system to catch the drops. And what we'll do is we'll put some hoppers along here. Okay, so that'll funnel all the drops that come off the mobs into this chest, and I'll build a sorting system at some point in the future. That is what I intend to do there. Now we got to kind of block this off. It's got to be high enough for them to walk, so I'm going to need to go like this, and then put some slabs down. Where am I here? Gotta hold the shift button so that they don't go into the hoppers. Okay. And I could even actually put some more cobblestone along here. There, that makes it safe for me to be here now. And that's how I'll do it. So now we can go back up to the dungeon with the spawner. Still hear lots of mobs in the corridors on the far side, but that's okay. I'll go get those guys out of there later. Actually, I think there's got to be a certain amount of squares away from the spawner for them to generate efficiently, so I'm going to clear off these ones too, even though the original dungeon it has a calculation that it does randomly to see if mobs will generate from the spawner, and I just want to make it as efficient as possible. It's already spinning fast, so as soon as the light's gone, they're going to pretty much pop one out right away. And I'll just abandon that one. I think that should do it. Yeah, there goes one right there. Hello, buddy. Make it dark. The darker it is, of course, the more efficient it'll work. So Actually, I'm going to leave the rest of this quarter because I just realized afterwards I'm going to have to get access to that to put in a piston so I can seal the tunnel. So I actually went and built the diamond sword earlier. Smite 4, looting 3, that's just luck. When I enchanted it, that's what I got, but that's exactly what we want. Killing undead with the smite buff, and looting 3 means tons of drops. So that worked out for me. Usually I have to create quite a few swords, but that's literally just the first diamond sword I created and enchanted, so I got lucky with that. So as long as I'm within 16 squares of this spawner, which would be, if this is the drop, it's 1, 2, 3. So right here I'm standing directly below the spawner right now. Okay, I'll end this video and I'm gonna start coming up with a plan to head up there, fill in that tunnel, and start building the mob farm on top of the zombie spawner dungeon.